Hi, Movie Recap here, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I am going to explain a futuristic sci-fi movie called I Am Mortal, which was released in 2021. The film is set in the year 2235, and it is about the city of Alexander, where death, disease, and conflict have been completely eliminated by a geneticist and leader known as the Pilot, and the human race has achieved immortality through a genetic vaccine. On the verge of undergoing a rite of passage in this society, Logos is beginning to question his lack of purpose in a world where no one dies. But in this seemingly utopian society, a band of rebels fight the status quo to reclaim their right to die. Now this rebellion must find a way to reach the world with its message of purpose through mortality. But before we begin, beware of spoilers, watch out and take care. And I hope you enjoy the video. The film opens as we are told that there was a very fatal disease that spread all over the world. There was a very big pandemic, but a scientist, the Pilot, made some genetic discoveries that eradicated all diseases and make humans immortal, meaning that the humans now cannot die and will live forever. Then we see a man named Logos who is sitting in a train as he starts to narrate. He states that he and all the people on that train are given the gift of being immortal. However, he does not consider this endless time a gift and is somewhat tired of life but tries to stay positive, relatable. He says that he is very confused about being immortal and he is not happy with how things are. Then we see a group of people who are standing and listening to man through a large hologram cube. The man is called the Pilot, and he is the scientist that is behind all of this. He tells everyone that he gave everyone the gift of immortality and eliminated all diseases so that humans can live in harmony and peace without any conflict. He further adds that the mortal people were defective, but the humans that exist now are perfect because nothing can harm them and they will never die. Then we see a woman named Aki, who is taking a group of newcomers on a tour as she familiarizes them with this magnificent society. Aki is talking about how the Pilot made this generation when a young girl asks Aki about the people that went against the Pilot and refused to be immortal. She tells her that those people eventually died, but the Pilot's generation never dies. Aki's only job is to give people a tour and guide people about this society. Afterwards, we see Logos again, who is thinking about how he is not happy with being immortal. He meets another woman who tells him that he is not the only one who feels this way. She gives him a device from which both of them could privately communicate. Then a guard of this society named Armeros approaches Aki and tells her that the Pilot wants to talk to her. Aki is very curious about why the Pilot wants to talk to her, but she is also surprised and excited by this news. Armeros gives her a device that she puts on her head and goes to the Pilot in the form of a hologram. The Pilot tells her that they spotted a man named Logos who was seen taking a communication device from a woman. He says that her job is to spy on them and listen to their conversation when they meet again. Later on, Logos and the other woman sit and start to talk while Aki keeps secretly listening to them. She comes back and tells Armeros that they were not talking about anything suspicious that would reveal anything. Armeros goes to the Pilot and tells him that Aki found nothing suspicious and that they do not have to worry about anything. But the Pilot still tells Armeros to order Aki to continue her work and keep spying on them. Then the Pilot starts to explain why he is doing all of this. A man used to work with him, and that man introduced a virus into his system. He erased the memory of that man, but he speculates that the woman that gave Logos the device might be somehow involved with that man. Armeros later visits Aki and tells her everything about why she needs to keep spying on them. After some time, Logos is once again on the train as he reads a book. Aki comes and sits right next to him while making conversation, meaning she is trying to be friends with Logos in order to know him better. She tells him that she gives people tours and informs them about immortality. When this topic comes up, Logos instantly asks if being immortal is okay. She does not have an answer for it and leaves. She assigns two other girls to also spy on Logos. Then, Logos is with the woman that gave her the device, and she takes her to a church after making sure that no one is following him. A man takes them inside, and inside he is asked if he feels like everything is perfect. They ask him if he is taking his daily dose after he replies that he does not feel like everything is perfect. He says that he is taking his regular dose, but they claim that this should be impossible since a person taking his regular dose always thinks that everything is perfect. They also state that Logos is unique if he feels all of this even after taking a regular dose. They show him an antidote and they start to tell him about the man that worked with the Pilot. They have that man's trials that are very hard to read. That man found out that the Pilot made everyone immortal, but he changed everyone's genes as well, which resulted in them obeying his every order like a slave. That man obviously went against all of this and decided to end all of this, but he was eventually captured by the Pilot, who erased his memory. A woman also mentions that the people who take this dose can no longer feel emotions and are unable to enjoy life just like machines. So they have to change their systems so that they can be free once again. They say that they just have to make people feel their real lives again, and then they will see how much the pilot has changed in their lives. Logos understands and says that they need to destroy the code that was made by the pilot. Then we see the pilot who is talking to a girl about religion. She says that people needed religion before because they would die, but people do not die anymore, and therefore they do not require any sort of religion. The girl is revealed to be his daughter, and she asks him about the man who worked with him. His daughter always keeps asking questions and points out the flaws in his system. Logos, on the other hand, once again meets Aki, and both of them talk. Later, they tell Logos that they need a break in the facility in order to change the code, but they need a person who works there, and Logos immediately thinks about Aki. So Logos once again goes to meet with Aki so that he can convince her to join them in their mission to end immortality and give everyone a normal life. While he is talking to her, the girls that Aki assigned to spy on Logos intervene. After a while, the two manage to meet again, and Logos takes her to the team. They explain everything to Aki about how the pilot is controlling everyone and has turned them into slaves. They ask for her help in ending this. Aki first goes to see Armeros and tells her everything. He orders her to agree on helping them when they ask her again. Aki does this and agrees to help them. She takes them inside the facility but tells them that there is an error and that they cannot get inside. All of them obviously flee so they don't get caught, but Aki tells Logos to stay with her. While the rest of them are safe, Logos gets caught once Armeros comes and takes Logos with him. Upon the pilot's command, they erase Logos' memory so he does not remember a single thing about what the pilot is doing to people and how he's controlling them. After this happens, Aki feels very guilty and asks to talk to the pilot. She tells the pilot that she feels very bad for what she did to Logos and that she wants to meet him, but the pilot refuses to let her meet him. Later, Aki is informed about the whereabouts of Logos by the girls she assigned to spy on him. Aki goes and finds Logos to be a completely different person. She sees that he is also tuned into an emotionless human just like everyone else. She even bumps into him but is unable to recognize her as his memories were erased. Then we see that Aki is so devastated that she stops taking her dose that makes her immortal. Then she goes to that group because she feels like she has nowhere else to go, but the team does not trust her since she betrayed her last time. She starts to explain and says that she saw Logos who was acting like a blank machine, and now she understands how things actually are and how the pilot is controlling everyone like a puppet. She says that she stopped taking her dose and now she wants to be a member of their team in order to end all of this. They agree and start to trust her. She takes them outside of the facility, and Armeros finds out about this. He instantly informs the pilot about them and how they plan on sabotaging everything he has built. Then Aki goes to meet Logos and brings her back to the team, which makes him somewhat normal again. A member of their team gets captured by the pilot as they plan on hacking the system that the pilot will launch. After having a talk about death with his daughter, the pilot finds out that Aki took Logos out of society. Aki takes them all inside the facility center and they are able to change the code. They have a diffuser machine which can be used to diffuse the system that is inside a human being, which will result in them turning back into a mortal that can have the real gift, which is death. After successfully doing this, the group sets a camp far away and starts to live there while Logos uses the diffuser machine on himself. Later, the pilot decides to deliver a speech when they hack the system and Logos comes on the screen. He tells everyone that being immortal is better. The pilot does not worry because he thinks that no one will do it. His daughter joins Logos and the rest and reveals that she took all the information from the man with whom the pilot was working, and now she has the ability to change the gene code. She will save all of them by turning them into mortals and giving them the sweet gift of death. Here, this movie ends. To watch more explanations of these kinds of movies, click on the videos on your screen. And do not forget to let me know how you feel about today's video in the comments down below. Kindly like the video and subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so you don't miss any new videos. At last, I will say, stay safe, stay well. Thanks for watching.